Hi folks, it's semi-finals time in the Thrones World Cup and we are joining a game that has just started. Not really planned to record this, but here we are. I might need to leave before it's over, so hopefully they play quickly. It's China and France playing this, of course. We have Aloof for France and we have Lenny Reigns. Well, that's the Chinese Lenny Reigns is not the Rush version, it's the Shadows version with tunnels, so that usually takes its time. Gets stronger and stronger as the game goes on, and honestly, I think it's, from what I remember, it should be a good matchup because the Targ deck plays the dragons and plays Khal Drogo, so can go aggressive, even Barristan Selmy, but then that's about it. If there's nothing to kill in play, things can go downhill. And has to contend with Dohaeris and Morghulis. But I think it plays Mad King's Command, so as I said, I didn't plan to record this, so I didn't prepare the decks, but I will open them now. I played against Mac in this tournament, and I believe he plays Mad King's Command, so needs to delay that a little bit and then play it to really hit that shadows area and hit the location base, of course. Here we are, Bowers and tunnels in play. Can't keep everything, right? If you keep them, then you lose all the econ that you also play. Gold Mines, King's Landing potentially, Red Keep and Guildhall in the deck. And let's see, do we have any other answers here? 2 copies of Nightmares. There's some Hand's Judgment. That will help a little bit. Shadow of the East potentially for pinch. And we have Mad King's Command. No, First Snow. First Snow doesn't really work. March doesn't work either. But City Besieged works a little bit, so not the worst plot deck. And there's 27 locations in the Lanny deck here, so Mad King's Command will hurt. Just immediately digging for cards. Not going to play with the board, you see, so Lannister Merchant is gone. Mac has some way to gain power, as Khal Drogo, who has Renown, and Barristan Selmy has Renown. The problem is they don't stick around that well, although if you get them duped, you carry them through Dohaeris and Morghulis doesn't kill them. He's not going to reset himself in any way, apart from Mad King's Command, which is a good reset, so... But they can get pinched as well, and I think pointy ended. Yeah, so both decks kind of have counters for one another. There's lots of intrigue presence here for Monk. Can't really push Reigns through at the moment, but I don't think the Lanny deck will bother in the early game. Not even trying to flip out Late Summer Feast out of Late Summer Feast, because simply no reason to win any challenge. Just let things go. Queensguard is played on Brown Ben Plum, who will survive at the moment if nothing else is played. It's a bit awkward. It's kind of a bad marshalling phase for Mac here, because he marshaled Missandei, Queensguard not on the right character, and didn't use the agenda reduction. Great Hall on a Chud. It's not gone that well. He can try to get 3 unopposed, and if it's opposed in any way, he will draw for Light Summer Fist, which I think he probably wants. Just probably not start with some kind of intrigue that you would miraculously lose by 5. I don't think you can with Regal, really. I believe China won the first one in this matchup, in this match. The Stark, they had a Stark game against, was it Terrell Whitebook? I think that was the game. And spending 2 characters for this intrigue challenge. Ooh, and hit Cersei. She would have been good in the late game. Even counters some Tark stuff like Queensguard. Can't really trigger it without having Cersei gain power. Oh, he can stand just any character. Interesting, okay. To take dominance. I think he could have done all 3 challenges and still won dominance, right, with this plan. Then it's going to be replayed just to get the Bowels trigger. Yeah, this is very trigger heavy. Gets a bunch of econ, a bunch of draw. Waits for its time, and then the board is super strong. The problem is it has counters and Mad King's Command is one of them. "48 minutes and a bit, and I have about 35 before I have to go, so we'll see." Plays return quite quickly into another late summer feast. Now is he going to sack Brown Man Plum? Get sacks me Sunday as well. Gets Queensguard back, gets another couple of cards. And this time goes second, but with a strong intrigue icon there to stop anything weird happening, probably. It's just one Casterly Rock, I believe, was discarded for reserve. I think Wolf Bian, not sure how I pronounce that, might wait with at the gates in this matchup. There's Pentoshi in the plot deck and Trade Routes. Might wait with the gates for after Mad King's Command to get another recon location then. I wonder what the plan is for this deck to deal with Mad King's Command. Must have played a bunch of games against it. Well, gold for Sir Robert Strong on this occasion. Miss Sunday comes back. Sad. Used the Great Hall as well for her, so still nothing going to come in, it seems. Well. And she gets Insight. Well, Robert Strong actually is strong enough to just do military. If he thinks it's worth it, because Missandei will probably have to go. And brings Tyrion in. Okay, so here we go, starting to play a little bit. Mark has immediately triggered that Dragon Gate's desperate to draw something better. No stealth, right? So This can be defended now. What's the threat? Okay, you flip out of the plot. Varys is really not doing anything. Pointy end on Missandei is one possible threat. You could also go Filthy Accusations or Power Behind the Throne. Get Tyrion's insight. Mag doesn't care. Well, if Pointy end is spent here, it's not going to spend to get rid of duped characters, so... Filthy Accusations. But we established, right, that Rhaegal can just enter in a challenge which is attacking. Oh, okay. Bye bye. And yeah. Tyrion escapes and Robert Strong is strong enough to beat Rhaegal. And pillages Barristan just for good measure. He was a really key character that Mac presumably has failed to draw in all of this time. Any magic that you can do against this plan? Don't think so, so probably he will die now. He has Close Call in the deck. And prize given away as well for this, yeah. Not good. This was supposed to be a time where Mac got some kind of lead before bad things started happening. Now he's going to have to try to get a few characters in play before he gets Mad King's command. Well, we know that the Lanny deck plays pretty much only Econ and the two Valars. I wouldn't spend to Harris on a board where you can get the bigs removed, so probably going to play trade routes now. Before the locations go down to 3. He can manipulate things a little bit, stick this in shadows, for instance, since it's such a huge location, but then it has to be one of the capped cards. That's not ideal either, is it? And what does Mag do? Has he played the Maiden yet? He's played the Maiden as the opening. So he has Late Summer Feast if he's drawn something. Get some cards, then think about possibly playing Mad King's Command, right? Ah, and it's at the gates, okay. You can sack these, I guess, but not sure how much help that is. Which Drogon are we playing in this one? The middle one, if I remember correctly, yeah. So that's ambush 6. If he wants it. But with tunnels, seems unlikely that he would be able to kill anything. What's the problem now? Yeah, the worrying thing is that nothing's duped, so you can Morgulis. This guy, so difficult to get anything when he's attacking. -2 for everyone, but tunnels is currently +4 and could get bigger if something else is marshaled into shadows, so still half a chance. Well, you can oppose him for sure with the power icon, but can you beat him with -2 across the board? Would be difficult with tunnels even, right? Although someone like the Hound maybe. Or it's not that important, right, to defend that power challenge. Still early in the game. Well, now Drogon gold has to spend some of the gold, right, because he used the King's Road. There is... Okay. So for the shadow stuff it could be Queensguard. I think that's about it. Shadow the East as well in the deck. And for the 2 gold, apart from that, so Gifts is in the deck. And there's Put to the Sword. And some other things, so... Yeah, that Put to the Sword threat really is only viable when Lenny starts playing on the board properly with Tywin and the like, but how do you push it through, right? No stealth, so... I mean, there's so much strength with tunnels on defense for every challenge type. And yet another location, but this is all going at some point, right? Surely Matking's command can't be too far off now. Then, well, he would prefer obviously to delay it, and if the game goes super long, to get it back so you can play it round 6, round 8, maybe, or round 5 and round 8 again. This is only round 3. Already it's becoming difficult to do anything simply with all of those cards in shadows and all of those locations. If you are Lannister, you'd have to keep Bowels, I think, for Mad King's command, and yeah, Tunnels is a key card. You can have it escape if you want more locations than characters, I guess. You can have it, you can put it into shadows, but then you can keep 3 cards altogether. That means 2 characters at the most in shadows. Then you'd probably want to keep maybe Gold Mine, maybe one of the jumper locations, I don't know. I mean, you could keep playing it and sack it, but you're losing all the econ that you've worked so hard to get. Well, there is insight on Jorah, but I don't think he'll be allowed to win a challenge. He could try since he probably gets taken for claim. And giving Reigns on defense a chance to happen. It's not, as I said, not a huge threat. Can get Game of Thrones, for instance. It's not the worst thing in the world. I think probably, well, okay. Never mind, so Tywin comes in. I was going to say maybe even Bian here wants to draw for late Summer Feast a little bit here. He's drawn a lot though, so has a lot of cards. He's going to defend and win by 5 on defense. He has Tyrion. I believe Tyrion can come out and put Tywin into shadows, right? Although then Tywin can't be reduced. Well, there's no reduced locations anyway. Can't be cheated into play anymore. You'd have to pay for him. And it's not so easy. I guess next round plays trade routes and brings him out if it's Mad King's command. Okay. Let's come out with Harrenhal, which means he dies if he's not taken care of here. I also have 3 copies of the Regent's Guard. Yeah, probably considered some kind of Queen's Guard on Jorah. Properly defend this, but yeah, with the strain boost it's not worth it. Now, is there maybe Shadow of the East? No. So Jorah gets pinched. That Rhaegal gets pillaged. And put to the sword was in hand. Wasn't going to get triggered though. It's a good pillage now. It means probably when you close call, you're not going to close call Rhaegal. 2 gone. So what's the deal with Myrcella? You can use her on the power challenge. You can do another intrigue, and I think Tyrion might be able to do that, or Regent's Guard. Whichever comes into play. Tyrion is going to put Tywin back to shadows and do an intrigue with insight as well. Yeah, it's already going really badly for Targaryen. I thought they would have at least a good first half of the game, but it went badly from round 1, not having any strong characters. Now power-wise they're losing heavily on the board state. and losing Nightmares, which was a very playable card after Mad King's Command, especially. Limited number of cards in play. And now, yeah, Lanny has 3 characters in play, so not even wasting anything on Mad King's Command. Because if you play only through shadows, basically, you don't have the characters. You lose a couple of potential cards you could have had. Now it's going to be trade routes into Mad King's Command, I'm sure. Smack think he has another round where he can delay it. If a dupe for time was found in the meantime, then he definitely doesn't. While he delays it, trade routes is here, it's going to grab the gold and then you play. I have 2 Valors and Pentoshi still into that Mad King's Command. Max just desperate for more cards. Does he want to go first? He does. Pinch getting recycled, so not sure what he can do. If he can play a big character that's just giving prize, though I can't defend Intrigue by 5 realistically. And there we are, bringing Tywin out. Maybe duplicating him from hand. Or just doing it to get the Bowels trigger. We'll know pretty soon, I think. Well, Viserion is not pinchable. Trying to draw even more. Well, if he has a dupe for Tywin, now is the time really. I mean, he can... the worst he's getting is Mad King's Command against him. He has another plot where he doesn't need to worry about things getting killed or removed in other ways. He has Tyrion's ability still to save Tywin if he thinks it's his way to victory potentially, although he's kind of winning regardless just by dominating challenges at the moment. That will go down a little bit though when Mad King's Command is played, because the number of locations, well, Caster Rock, we know there's Myrcella in hand as well. So many challenges that simply Mark cannot oppose everything, and power will be gained just through that. It's another card that actually is very good after Mad King's Command, but seems to have everything anyway. And Mark's just going to try not to lose too quickly. Does Viserion work on defense? No. Oh dear. You know what's going to happen now? It's going to pointy end Viserion and then pinch Jorah. Right? Or pinch Jorah first and then pointy end Viserion before doing military. And that's pretty sure that's Queensguard in Shadows and not Shadow of the East for Mac. I mean, to be able to do this removal stuff as well. And okay, stopping gifts, whatever I was trying to do. What was it trying to do, actually? There's no sweet slip. Yeah, to be able to do this kind of removal on top of everything is quite crazy. Just no plot deck at all, just Econ. Econ and the 2 resets. And then play out everything you can. Draw. Okay, to be fair, gold mines are here, lion gates are here, so can't say no draw, but yeah, we saw in our deciding game, the Slovenia-China match. Doesn't play the point in, by the way, doesn't need to. We saw a lot of digging with the gold mines until the cards were found. Yeah, we've kind of figured, given how things went for Mark here. If he had some cards like Baristan Selmy, he would probably play a Mad King's Command early on a little bit more aggressively, than he would be good in the challenges, right? Against reduced options, but exposed to the Harry still, so. Well, at least they finished in time for me to catch my bus, so. There's another one coming up in this one. I think it's Alex against not sure who. No, it's actually Argento's game. Never mind. Okay, so that could be a long one, but I won't be able to get it. Might record the second half after I get home, if it's still being played, or the final rounds anyway. Since Argento is going to grind with Knights of Valyrian still, maybe that can happen. Do we know the opponent? Let's see. China, France. Let's see who is playing. It's against. It's Knights of Valyrian Steel Mirror. Okay. Well, that's going to be, first of all, a real grind, and second of all, it's going to be decided, in large part on luck, I think, because whoever gets the wall and their bench and stuff like that. Although I need to check the Chinese deck. Is it the one that plays Morgulis and tries the bench and triggers like Argento? Or is it more of a double exchange type of deck that tries to resist resets? Guess we'll know a little bit later, but as I said, won't be able to record the beginning of that game. So it's 2-0 now for China, if I'm correct. And yes, they have some of their big guns still to come. And yeah, their Night's Watch is winning more than it's losing, for sure. But then, you know how France is, right? Alex playing 2 games this round, he barely loses. This is, by the way, a repeat of the online World Championship from 2 years ago, Alex versus Bing. They still have some strong players here as well. Yeah, semi-finalists from Stalek still to come. Argento, as we said, Mad has been doing really well. I think this is the one actually that I said was already played. I'm not sure. We'll have to check on all of that. And they have Courtius this round for Lannister. The Lannister deck also has been doing pretty well, and Djokovic stepping in to play the Bar Assault against Lin. I presume that's against Terrell Whitebook, and that's very winnable, as we know, from Bara's perspective, although could go either way. So yeah, China has started well, but remember, France only needs to get 4 wins to at least get the extra game, and they have the team still, so this could be still very exciting. But the first thing that would really need to happen is for Argento now to win, to make it 2-1. If it's 3-0 with the likes of Bing and Hero still to play, then I would be worried for France. So I have to go. Thank you for watching this one, and we'll see you next time.